It's all good.
We got a couple of them here. There's a couple of them here.
Yeah, I like it. Everybody has to behave themselves and they have to take turns because the semi trucks can't get across it without everybody else behaving. If you hear a dog whining, I don't know why my dog is whining this morning. He's got some kind of something going on with him. Okay, so explain co-hosting to me.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Don't do it? Oh, God. Who said that?
I did.
Whose I did? I'm driving a car, so is that truth?
True.
Oh, truth will always tell me to don't do it.
Pay attention to all the people that try to get a mic, because there's lots of nefarious characters out here. So
Oh, you want me to use my spidey senses and block?
No, you're
bots?
good. You're good, thankful. You don't need to bring anybody up. Don't worry, we got it. So it's all good. I thought you would enjoy it.
You need me so you can have 2 more spots.
Well,
no, it's okay. I love being used in an appropriate way. Is my dog crying this morning? I have him in the car and everything. He's acting like I'm ignoring him.
I can't hear him.
Sorry, I went through the thing. Yeah, it dropped me down to speaker.
No worries. So, hey, it is Friday, our 250th birthday, or our anniversary of this country. I can't wait to get my weekend started. Maybe we can use some of those notions. How do we get it started, Truth? Do we really recognize the veterans and everybody that served to give us the opportunity to celebrate it? Maybe we should start there today.
I don't know. Start by reading the freaking Declaration of Independence, your U.S. Constitution, your state constitution. That's how you keep this country alive. Because unfortunately, our kids aren't taught those things, and so we need to reconfirm our foundation in it, right? Yeah, I mean, sure, you can thank veterans and thank the founding fathers who automatically became veterans because they had to go to war once they made that declaration, of independence. So hopefully you're prepared, and then also be prepared for, God forbid anything crazy happening. Because if people that don't like this country, and we're going to celebrate it tomorrow, and we have lots of people from other countries here, just gotta have your head on a swivel. It's just my normal veteran paranoia.
No, I hear you. It's probably good to keep your head on a swivel, like you said. But I know that I want to really savor it. There's a couple of not traditions, but usually Jersey corn comes out about this week. I think it's been out for about a week or whatever. So, maybe we can celebrate some of the food that we're going to eat. And I know we're busting out a big hunk of tuna that we caught last week. So, I don't know. That's where we're going to start, man.
Well, yeah, you got, I don't know, what's Jersey's laws on fireworks and stuff? Do you guys get to celebrate it all, or no?
No, it's illegal. I think they kind of lessened it. You can buy sparklers and that kind of stuff that you could never buy years before. You can buy that stuff, but no compression, right? You can't go into Walmart and buy M80s or quarter sticks, right?
Oh, dude, we have a fireworks stand that's open, 365 days a year, and you should see the arsenal that we've got, man. You can basically pop off everything out here.
Now, I'm not saying that there's some people that don't have them here. I'm not saying that. It's pretty easy to skip over the line and you can go get it. Anything you want in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's been pretty loose since I've been a kid, but yeah, here if you get nabbed here, In fact, it's funny. We went into what was it? Ocean City yesterday, and there's a big sign there: alcohol and fireworks on the beach is illegal. So yeah, I guess they're kind of looking out for it. There's some idiots out there.
Yeah, don't mix out fireworks. Just don't do it.
Hey, Truth,
Yeah.
where are you that you can do 365?
Tennessee.
Yeah, because I think when I came back through Wyoming, I think I drove like I had a car full of large things headed back to California. I was so like driving guilty. I loaded, my car was full. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
California.
yeah. I think we've gone past communist. I think we are now at what's worse than being communist? Whatever it is, we've done it. It's horrendous. Newsom is gonna the last few months of his term, he's gonna make us pay like Walls is making those guys pay in Minnesota.
Yeah. No, Cali. Sorry. I'll pass. As beautiful as it is. Nope.
I'm getting out of here in August. I'm done. I'm over with it. I'm moving to Missouri.
There you go.
There
That's
you
pretty.
go.
It's pretty out there.
Yeah,
Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah, Everton near Springfield.
Yep. I know where it's at.
Yeah, I'll be right there. The town's so small. It's not. It's in the crack on one of the atlases. It's hilarious.
Oh, I know.
It's in the crack.
In the crack. When you open up the atlas, the little town is in the crack. I looked at it for months. I finally had to get a different map to find it. And that's where my family's from. So all the way back to Scotland. So I'm getting my cheap Scotland beer drinking butt out of this communist country over here. Could just fall off into the ocean.
Well, I'm just telling you, it's not much better here. So, Missouri, man, when I think of Missouri, I think of Clint Eastwood. I think of High Plains Drifter. I think of all kinds of movies with Missouri. I remember that lady standing up there and says, "Yeah, I'm from Missouri."
It's beautiful out there.
I've never been there. I've never been to the Ozarks. I would like to. I would like to see it.
Oh, you most definitely should, because I'm only going to be an hour and a half away from Branson.
Yeah.
I got plenty of room for whoever wants to visit.
Yeah, Branson puts on lots of good shows. It's not that big. I mean, it's, I guess, big, Missouri big, but it ain't that big compared to bigger cities. But it's beautiful out there. All the lakes, man. You'll see, Marlon, you sure, especially for hunting and whatnot and fishing, there's a lot out there. I saw Terry come up, by the way.
What's happening, Terry? Happy 2250, and then maybe we could say hello to Susan.
Hey, happy 250, Marlon and Truth, and Thankful, and everybody listening. I see a lot of friends, Yeah, Missouri's got the second largest man-made lake, I believe. The Lake of the Ozarks is second largest. So a lot of good fishing. So, and Brad Pitt is from Springfield, Missouri. Just a little fun fact there.
And yes, he is.
You know, hey, fishing is a sport, right? You know, I enjoy fishing. You know, I used to cut school. My father used to catch me every time, and I used to sit at the dinner table, and my face was glowing because I cut school and I went fishing all day, right? That was part of my DNA growing up. And when I got older, you know, obviously fishing takes on a whole different, you know, method for me, right? I really want to, hey, I want to outsmart that fish. I mean, that's the gig, right? We're not there to actually kill the fish, but I want to outsmart them. And, you know, believe it or not, the same techniques or same presentations you use offshore. It's just awful funny, Terry. We talk about fishing. They got some land lac stripers, and I know they got sturgeon in some of the lakes. But man, when you go out there and some of the fish that we catch in those lakes, that's the size of the baits that we use to catch the other fish. It's just kind of a little let down, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying there. It is a little bit of a letdown. I've actually reeled in crappie before, and right before I got it in the boat, a walleye would grab it and just eat half of it, So, but that would be a northern lake. That's not a Missouri lake, But there's something about fishing that's very therapeutic and frustrating all at once.
All at one time. It's kind of like hunting, same shit.
Kind of like golfing.
I think down in where I'm going is a bunch of, it's bass fishing. Like Bass Pro has headquarters here.
Those guys rule that circuit. There's quite a few guys from the Midwest, Missouri. They're Van Dam, and there's a lot. There was one famous one here, and you may not recognize his name, but Mike Iaconelli. He was from Woodbury, New Jersey. He grew up right around the corner from me, and this is the guy. When he used to catch the fish and he'd bring it up to the side of the boat and he'd be all excited, he'd throw it in the boat, and it kind of made his brand. Everybody knew him for that across the country, and especially when he went to Tioga Lake. I'm not sure what's the lake anyway, and he won the Bassmaster. So this guy, I did work for him. I did his house. I did his office, and the guy's still exactly the same way, but. Yeah, they're a special breed, those guys.
Yeah, they have their little personality, for sure. But, Missouri's known for cheap cigarettes, cheap gas, and trailer parks, And a good thing about the tornado season, there's always that one news clip where they pick up the guy. Yeah, I was just sitting there on the couch and, I heard the loud roar and I thought it was a train. It wasn't a train. Next thing I know, my trailer's flying through the air. You always get one of those classics.
That's the classic thing, right? Like tornadoes and trailer parks. I don't know why they had the stereotype like that.
I think they're deliberately hunting trailer parks.
Oh, it's the stupid things, man. Come on now, Hey, how are we going to start out the 4th, Terry? What are you eating? What's your 4th of July feast there? What do you have imagined in your head?
Oh, it's potato salad, some macaroni and cheese, some cheeseburgers, some hot dogs. Some potato chips, that kind of stuff, all the stuff that's not good for me, basically.
So let me ask you this, Terry, because you brought up potato salad. Are you a vinegar guy in your potato salad or a non-vinegar guy?
A non-vinegar. I like the mustard in my potato salad.
What do you mean the mustard? I don't think I ever had it with mustard.
Yeah, they've got it with mustard.
Mustard and vinegar.
Too funny. Go ahead, Susan. How you doing? Good to see you. What's your idea of the feast this weekend? Are you a vinegar person or a non-vinegar in a potato salad?
I'm not a mustard person or vinegar. Eggs, gotta have eggs in it, and pickles, little sweet pickles.
Pickles? Wait.
Yeah,
pickles?
little sweet
No.
pickles cut up in your potato. Yeah.
No, really?
Yes.
That's as bad as
Yeah,
putting olives in it. You don't put olives in it because I can't.
Oh God, I don't put olives in anything. Olives are gross. I don't even know. Like we have 4 olive trees. I don't even know why we got them. I don't even like olives, but they're doing really well. Talking about moving to different states, Oregon is an absolutely gorgeous state, despite the fact that the commies have destroyed it in many ways. And I've thought about moving because the taxes I can weather it, right? My kids, not so much, but I can weather it. And every once in a while, like tax time, I get pissed off and I'm like, I got to get out of here. But you know what? We put so much work into the house. I mean, you can always get a house and do it the way you want. But the land, like we got 20 acres and we've got every fruit tree that can grow in Oregon, every berry that can grow in Oregon. We've got 4 different garden spots where we grow our own vegetables. So, and in the Biden years, I had a whole bug out plan, right? We got chickens, we raise turkeys when they're needed. We should do that again. Anyway, it's the land, despite these commie, you know, bastards. I'm sticking it out and I'm standing my ground with my shotgun at the door, trying to take it from us. But we all know eventually it's all going to end, and some of these people will end up in Gitmo or, and we'll be singing that YMCA song good and loud. Anyway.
YMCA.
And yes, happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Yeah.
Okay, Terry, yo, why don't you jump in there and then to Thankful and Truth? I got to step away, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. I was going to say ice cold watermelon. You've got to have ice cold watermelon on the 4th of July.
I'm not a big ice cold. That makes your teeth rattle. You know what? You know who? Our horses love watermelon. Love watermelon. Wild, isn't it?
Our hogs used to love watermelon. In fact, I think almost all of our animals liked watermelon, maybe except the dogs. They were the only ones that didn't care. But the best part about watermelon for 4th of July is if you can get the really thick rind and then make watermelon pickles after. Oh, man, they're so good.
Well, if you get the seeded watermelon too, you can spit the seeds at the people that you don't like, or people who just want to irritate in general.
Not in California. I'm sure that's a felony here.
I can't wait to see Newsome. New scum. They started that. He's blaming Trump for this investigation that's going on. It started in 2024. So I think there was a whole group of FBI agents that just, decide, you know what, we don't care what the uppers are talking about. We're going to just quietly investigate the things we know are happening here. And eventually this will turn around. So New scum, perp walking you, babe. Perp walk, lawyer up.
He's horrible.
Well, have you ever known a Democrat in general to ever take responsibility for anything that they screwed up or didn't do? I've never known a Democrat.
Yeah, Truman did.
Okay, right. He said the buck stops with him, but Democrats back then it was more like,
they've always been corrupt. All politicians are corrupt. That's part of the deal. But he knew what he did, and he did it he felt he did it to save humanity. Now, there was definitely corruption, but him and Bess, when they got done, they went home and they sat on their porch. And that was it. They did not stay in Washington, D.C. and try to run the next government. So we got a whole different ball game going on here. These people are horrid.
Well, I don't know what happened to Marlon, but he's probably in the background.
Yep, right here. You didn't hear me. Yeah, I had to step away for a second. Hey, while we're talking about 4th of July gardening, I got them, Truth. I don't know. Look, the balls of this thing, right? We were in there, our garden, I guess it was Monday or Tuesday, and we're clipping the garden where, hey, we're clipping some of the tomatoes, and we're piling it up, and it's sitting on the mound. And all of a sudden, I start seeing the branches that we just cut off. I mean, literally less than a minute. Something's taking it underneath the soil, right? So I'm like, whoa, this is him. So yes, grabbed my pitchfork and I'm after him. All right. And this thing, whatever it is, I never saw it, but he stole my celery, he stole my potatoes, he ate my parsley, and look, I had the last straw with this thing, and I don't know what it is, and I think I got him because there's no more holes, no more plants disappearing. I got him.
Did you gas them out? Did you put water in them?
No. You remember the the traps that we talked about, the vole traps or the mold traps, and it was the guillotine thing. Well, that was me with with the pitchfork. I was not giving up, dude. Talk about aerating the soil. Yes, sir.
Gophers will do that. When you're not looking, they'll just reach up and they'll do it underneath you. We had a dog that used to attack gophers until one of them hooked on her lip one day. That was awful. We had to kill the gopher to get him off of her. It's awful.
I thankful. I guess that's what it was. I have no idea.
Could have been. It's something that lives underground and it just reaches right up and it takes whatever it is and it just goes sunk and pulls them right back down.
I mean, the plants were gone. There was not even evidence that the plant was there. I swear, I think he filled the hole.
No, he did. He did. We've chased a gopher around our driveway and yard, and pretty soon there were so many holes. I'm all like, we need to like do some excavating because the ground was. Every time I turned around, we were like sinking into a big old gopher hole because it was tunneling. It was crazy.
Now we're not okay.
Well, you need a garden snake, bro. I mean, we got plenty of them on our property. Come on and grab a couple and put them out there.
Well, you know what? I normally I would be patient with something like that. I understand. Hey, it's his neighborhood. He's but this guy, he was asking for it. I'm just telling you, it was less than a minute. The things hit the ground and he was eating them. We were all over it. So no more holes. That's been the last couple of days. Quite thankful. Thankful.
Wasn't there a movie called Holes?
Yeah, that was.
Yes. The book is by Gary Paulson. It's a great book for junior high school students. Really good book. It's a good movie too.
Go ahead, Terry. Now we'll go to.
I'm thinking of Carl Speckler. You gotta kill a gopher. You gotta think like a gopher. The Gopher Kong. I'll teach him respect. Licensed by the United Nations to take out the gopher.
Bill Murray, dude. Could anybody have filled that role better than him? And that was when he was first coming out, right? That was like he wasn't even discovered then.
Well, it was Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't watch much Saturday Night Live. I was long time sleeping usually when that show came on.
I just love how he loves the grass. There's a centimillion grass.
Go ahead, Susan.
It's so funny. So my dad and I, he had 30 acres, and we'd play whack-a-mole with the 22 with the gophers, and they'd pop their little head up out of the hole and boom. Well, we could just use the 22. It wasn't that big a boom, but yeah, that was kind of fun. But we've had problems in our garden with moles as well. Every once in a while, our cat catches one, and that's when we're really happy. But we've tried all kinds of things. The mole traps. They don't like mint. We've been thinking about putting mint into the garden because they don't like that at all. Irish Spring moles and mice and stuff. They don't like that either. That really strong stuff. And we've gotten really close to like, can we just stick some dynamite in one of their holes? My husband's always trying to chase the thing, and it's like, can we just let's get some tannerite, okay? Actually, my husband got some tannerite one year for his birthday. That we set that up in the woods. made a really
I,
big sound.
I got
The
one
neighbors
that's
were calling. The neighbors were calling, going, "Is everything okay at your house?" "Yeah, we're good, thanks. Not a problem."
I got the one that works for you, but you have to kind of behave yourself. Remember bazooka gum? Bazooka bubble gum?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so you put rubber gloves on. You get a case of bazooka bubble gum. You unwrap them. You cut them in quarters with metal snips. You leave the rubber gloves on. You put them in the holes. They eat it.
Just get a snake. God
Ooh.
dang it. Get a garden snake. Let
I
nature take its
would, but
course.
on 1,000 acres, that is not going to work. Well, we leave the snakes. We don't have any problems with them. But when
Well,
you
we
got
have
snake problems,
we have snakes, garter snakes, because we know because the cat brings those in too, along with bats and hummingbirds. But um, I don't know how he catches hummingbirds. I really don't. He's really good.
he's
Anyway,
fast. He's fast
yeah,
and he's a good cat.
well, and then we have hummingbird feeders out. So like we're asking for trouble, right?
Yeah, I mean
Well,
the only
Feeders out.
the only reason I have industrial things is because 1,000 acres of vineyard. I get tired of gophers taking my vines. I gotta run into a store. I'll be right back.
so I don't know. Now, it's not a groundhog. I know the difference between a groundhog and a gopher. Now, it must be the smallest gopher on the planet because it looks like a mouse, and it doesn't have a big bushy tail, but it's like National Geographic around my house. I'm telling you. In fact, what day was it? I think it was Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I'm sitting out there, and usually I wake up 5:30, 5:45, and I'm out in the front porch. And I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know if it was a house cat, a young fox, whatever it was. But I saw him sneaking up through the woods, and he gets behind my shed. Now everything kind of revolves around my shed, and this dude, he leaped from the backside and pounced on this thing. I don't know what he caught. He caught something. It was in his mouth. I don't know what it was. I didn't know whether it was a cat or a young silver fox. I had a big bushy tail on it. It was like National Geographic.
It's like a bobcat, sounds like.
Nah, we don't. We got
Bobcats don't
very
have
few.
bushy tails.
Yeah, they don't
They
have
don't
big
have.
bushy tails. Now,
Groundhog.
I don't know. I don't know. We do have some minks here. Now, I don't know if the sumbitch was a minx or not. He didn't look like a house cat. He was mangy. He didn't look, I wouldn't say mangy. I would just say disheveled, right? He looked a little messed up. He had big, long ears on it. He didn't look like a regular house cat.
Maybe it's one of them New York rats that came to Jersey.
No, definitely not a rat, but yeah, it was war on the gopher or whatever the hell it was, and he's out. He was evicted. Whether he was guillotined or not, I have no idea, but he ain't there. Irish Spring, I've heard Irish Spring before. That pitchfork works pretty good. Put that on their Save the Animal poster.
Did Terry put his hand up?
I was just going to say the gophers are about 10 to 13 pounds, and your groundhogs. I'm sorry, groundhogs are 10 to 13 pounds, and your gophers are 2 to 3 pounds. So they're substantially bigger than groundhogs.
I didn't know we had gophers here. I'll tell you what, this is the first run in, dude. I've had plenty of moles, plenty of mice. I never had anything like this, right? So the hooks were out, dude. It was it was World War III.
I was watching something, some company in Texas, they go out to the land and they relocate prairie dogs. And they have this big old water truck and they basically just drown these little guys out. And as soon as they come out to get air, they trap them, then they relocate them. It's pretty handy, you know.
Well, Susan was talking about taking the 22, but there's places you can go out west, and they got these big platform trucks, right, where you're able to go around. They I guess they have fields or whatever there. I have no idea, but yeah, they shoot gophers at like long range. I mean, 200, 300, 400 yards. That's a long way to hit that gopher.
That's funny. Well, interesting talk on the eve of the 250th anniversary of our country. Talking about Gophers and Caddyshack.
Well, you know what? It's going to spark me to watch Caddyshack tonight, right?
Yeah.
I think Rodney, man. Rodney, he was a guy. I don't even know how it worked. How did it work where the guy was so popular? But man, him and Back to School, I thought that shit was hilarious. The Triple
Well,
Lindy, man.
Yeah, he was a good stand-up man. He was in with all those guys, and they just liked him because he had the good one-liners.
It was an all-star cast. You had Ted Knight, Rodney Dangerfield, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. I mean, how could it go wrong? You know, all those characters, all those personalities. They said they completely destroyed that golf course by the end of the movie. It was just trash.
Ted Knight. What was the show? He was the cartoonist. What was that sitcom? He was funny too, man.
I'm trying. You just caught
Yeah,
me
what
off
was
guard.
you know, he's got that little
With
thing.
Jim J. Braddock or whatever his name was.
Well,
Thought he was,
what's that?
I'm sorry, Marlon. I thought he was the news announcer on Mary Tyler Moore show.
He
Oh,
was.
I
But he
love
had his
that
own
guy.
show.
Ted.
Yeah, Ted Knight.
Ted.
He had a show. He was a
Too
cartoonist.
close for comfort. Too close for
That's
comfort.
it. That's it.
Then he also had the Ted Knight show, but yeah, and then he was on Mary Tyler Moore. But yeah, too close for comfort, I think, is what you're thinking about.
Too many of them old memories, man. Ted Knight, and there was lots of them. Heart to Heart. Did you guys watch Heart to Heart? I loved Heart to Heart. Come on, Dr. Welby. I think that was on at 9 a.m. every weekday when we cut school.
Marcus Welby. Oh,
Hey, Marcus Welby.
Marcus Welby with the cutest assistant doctor on the planet, Chad Everett. Y'all talking my language. Hmm. We like these old memories, and we're gonna make more of them. We're not dead yet.
What about Wild Wild West? Remember that show?
That was so much fun. Those guys were very creative. You had to read some books to get all their jokes.
Well, we've gone down this road a couple of times. You know, Benny Hill. He's one of my all-time favorites. The Three Stooges.
Were you a Get Smart fan?
No.
Really?
Yes,
Nope.
99.
No, that was like my brothers and sisters. They were into, like, you know, they were at that age, right? They were at, you know, 6, 8, 10 years older than I was.
I think they were more of my age because Get Smart was great. With shoe phones. He was so dumb. It was hilarious. 7 o'clock.
Yeah, or
Well,
McHale's Navy. I mean, there's a lot of old shows that are great.
Good
Dude.
stuff.
Hogan's Heroes. I'll still watch that.
I love
And
that.
Bonanza,
Bonanza.
I didn't watch Bonanza. Nope.
Gomer
I watched
Pyle.
Bonanza. I watched Bonanza. I went to where they filmed it. I've been to out to the Ponderosa in Nevada. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gomer Pyle can sing. He's from Alabama.
Yeah, he had some pipes on him, didn't he?
Yeah. He was from Alabama, wasn't he?
I don't know. He was goofy.
That was an act. He was super smart.
Well, who was it? Ernest Borgnine on McHale's Navy, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many good shows. Like you said, Mary Tyler Moore, that was a great show. My mother loved that show.
That was the best show. That launched all of us thinking we were going to go move somewhere and do something when she threw her hat in the sky. And what was that show? Like That Girl or This Girl or something like that? And Gidget, the surfer one, that was fun too.
Yeah, I wasn't into that like what was it? It feels like when the Beach Boys came out, that like late '60s hippie Peace Pop Microdot Beach.
Why do they call it hippie? It was more like throw off of the 50s. I mean, hippies were like, no bras, no baths, ratty hair. My parents were like, don't even bring one of them home either.
They were bra burners. They were
bras. They didn't have bras to burn, and they also didn't have any boobies either. Oh, boobies. They were stoned out of their minds.
I'll never forget. My sister was friends with this woman, and when we were growing up, and this woman, she was really like that. She just put that aura out. Like you weren't going to tell this woman anything, right? But this was kind of the woman that she was, and this lady was strange, man. She was the child was probably 5 or 6 years old, and they continued to nurse this child through his adolescence. I mean, the child's telling mommy, move over. I want the other side. I mean, this child was 5, 6, 7 years old doing this. This woman was not. I mean, I get it.
That's excessive. 3 years that's pretty normal, and that's what they did in Jesus's time. And there was lots of kids that were just 3 years apart. 3 years is kind of a deal, but 5, 6, 7 going to first grade, no, thank you.
I mean, and the woman didn't believe in shaving, right? It was the grossest thing ever. Oh my God! Okay, Texas, what's up, man? Texas, happy 250. Start of the 4th of July weekend. Here we go.
Happy Friday, y'all. Yeah. So I love your title there. 250 Friday. How do we start? We start with a paid day off, brother. Loving life.
Wow. That's a good start. Yeah, I woke up this morning. It's 5:30, 5:45, and I'm wondering why the coffee's not on. Because my kid gets up before I do. He puts the coffee on, and I'm wondering why there's no coffee this morning. Man, he got to lay in bed this morning. He was able to roll over. He wasn't working today. I was like, man, I'm the only idiot out here working today.
Yeah, bro. We woke up about the same time, man, and I'm off. But yeah, so I got an alarm set for 5 that wakes me up so I can take my medication. I got to take at least an hour before eating or drinking anything. So that went off. I took my medication, laid back down, got up at 6, and I'm like, huh. So I got 2 alarms. One goes off at 5, one goes off at 6 for work, but I was already awake. But yeah, man, it's hot in Texas, y'all. It's hot in Texas, but we're gonna have a good 4th of July, man. Family's putting on a big grand finale. It'd probably be the last year my family puts on a huge fireworks show. Been doing it forever, but they're getting old and tired. But yeah, we're gonna have a blowout this weekend. No drinking or nothing like that. Just a party with all the family there, and probably $10,000 or $15,000 worth of fireworks set off every year. But I'm looking forward to it. We'll get some fireworks today, baby. Sometime we'll get you some firecrackers and hope you don't blow your finger off.
Keeping your digits is a good deal.
It's always a good day. Yeah, blowing up fireworks and you don't lose any fingers. Yeah, that's a good day.
I had a rough day at work morning yesterday. We had a 3-inch blow, and there was all kind of stuff around it, all kind of stuff buried in the ground. So it was a rough day, man. I got home, my daughter's like, let's go get some fireworks. I said, man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm covered head to toe in mud. It was one of them days, you know, some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. Well, I was the bug yesterday. But yeah, she tried to get me to go do a couple things. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm off tomorrow. We'll go do it tomorrow. But I might go get some fireworks today.
Man, it was boiling here, dude. Yeah, I get it. You know, Texas is hotter than here, but it was 103 here yesterday, and it was boiling. It's going to be 105 here today. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen 103 in a forecast.
Actually, it's hotter over there right now than it is over here. It's in the mid to high 90s over here right now. So y'all are really catching it, and I'm glad y'all are catching it. We ain't catching it, but it's hot. It's still at 98 degrees with the humidity down here. It's pretty brutal.
Well, it sounds like, hey, we're going to get some relief like Saturday. Sounds like a front's coming through. Looks like the Southwest is going to pump no fishing until after. So, and then it sounds like thunderstorms, mid 80s, beginning of the week there. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Lows in the 60s. Yeah, man.
Say, Martin, did you have a chance to check out that article I sent you, bro?
Yes, sir. Hey, that did go out in the stand, right?
I don't think it's been published yet, but yeah, it will go out the middle of this month whenever it's published. I'll actually send you the mock-up on it that's already there and ready to go, and you can check it out.
Marlon, you just sounded like a weatherman on a newscast.
Well, yeah, when you're a fisherman and you fish 100 miles offshore, you better know what the weather's doing. It's no fun out there when the weather's not right? Yep.
Well, you sounded like, speaking of Bill Murray, like Groundhog Day. You know, the weather front is coming up from the south.
Well, you know, I feel like a lot of people around me don't understand the weather. I swear to God. And like, they don't understand, like, you know, little things. Like here at the Jersey Shore, right? Let me just give you an explanation. When people go there this weekend, there's going to be a chill in the water, right? That's because anytime that we get any good hard southwest, right? Southwest actually turns the water over. It promotes the bottom water for upwelling on the beach. That's why it's so cold here. And if we get an extended period, then it develops a problem where we develop a lot of fog, because if you can imagine, it's warm offshore, it's cold inshore, and it's warm on the land. So this makes for a volatile atmosphere here. So I'm hoping that we don't get that sustained. It looks like, hey, we're going to get 2 good days of that. It'll chill that beach off, man. Those people that are swimming there today, it won't be the same temperature tomorrow.
I'm telling you, you missed your calling, bro. The more you talk about it, I'm telling you, I could just see you on the Channel 4 News or whatever the hell it is.
Well, I think I would have loved to have been a weatherman, right? There's a guy that can get it 50% wrong half the time and 50% right and still have a job. Let me tell you, if I do drywall 50% wrong, I'm not going to have a job.
Yeah, and you make big bucks too if you're on TV, right? It's a perfect job. I don't understand how they can get it so wrong.
Well, maybe I'll have to put some of the spaces and put a resume out there. I'm going to go apply for NBC now. All right.
Yeah, don't do that. You don't want anything to do with any of that crap. But just saying.
It's air conditioned in there too.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm looking at it. It's 10 o'clock. It's already 94 degrees here. It is absolutely going to boil this head, man. My poor garden.
Okay, I got a question for you boys, because I've never understood this at all, and nobody's ever been able to give me a good excuse. And understand, I'm getting ready to do some color touch-up, and there's a time element involved. Why? So I'll need the bathroom with the shower here pretty quick. Why do you gentlemen take so long in the number 2s? Like, when I gotta go, I go and get done and I'm out. Right, Thankful? We're done. In and out. We got shit to do, right? What is it with that? I don't understand. Explain it to me, please.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I never understood the concept of actually taking reading material into the bathroom. Same with me. When I'm when I'm ready, I'm ready. You know, it's no messing around.
I'm in and out too, y'all. I don't play that.
I'll wait till the last minute, run in there, get done, get out of there. I don't have no time to read in there. Oh my.
I mean, sometimes my husband is texting me from the bathroom, like, get out of here.
Oh, I don't do that, man. I laugh at people who are in the bathroom. They're doing all their business out of the stall. I'm like, you know, we're all listening to you.
Dude, you know
I'm
what
like,
it smells like? Come on.
oh, God, that's hilarious. The only thing I used to do in the bathroom that took forever was when I had 4 kids, I used to hide and eat yogurt. And their little fingers would be underneath the door, and they were like, we want some too. And I said, no, I already fed you. I'm eating.
Yeah, exactly. You want a moment of privacy, right? My first one followed me everywhere. Then I had the twins, and I'm like, we're not doing that anymore. Mama's in the bathroom, and y'all are on your own. Try not to break shit.
Yo, that sounds like a Calgon Take Me Away moment. Come on, remember that commercial? Calgon, take me away.
Yeah, I wish. My kids were they'd take the whole entire house down if I did Calgon. No way. I don't wait till the guy got home. And I'm like, 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, could you please come home? And he goes, no, it's not dark yet. I won't be home till 7. I go, you better come home and get one of these kids. I'm going to kill one of them. He'd drive past the house and I'd put a kid in a truck through the window. And then everything was fine. I'm like, get this kid out of here. There's too many of them. He goes, just lock them outside. That's what my mom used to do. And I go, oh, hell no. They'll take the vineyard down.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. When we were kids, we were pretty much locked out of the house. It was like, and God forbid you should hurt yourself or break something on the monkey bars, and you got yelled at for being clumsy. I was like, I got really good at those monkey bars. I never fell off because I didn't want to get yelled at for being klutzy.
Yeah, we weren't allowed in the house. We weren't allowed in the house. You went out. You didn't come home until the street lights came on. Don't come home. That's what I was told.
We had a back door, and they were only allowed to come to the back door, and then they had to take all the clothes off, and then we would deal with whatever was going on there. And one kid showed up one time in the middle of the day. I go, what's wrong? And he moved his sweatshirt away from his head. He goes, I think I'm bleeding. I go, what did you do that with? And he goes, oh, a post hole digger. I'm like, let me see that. And so I put him in the kitchen and I propped his head up on the handle of the stove and told him not to move until I could get the bleeding to stop. That's the only kid who ever came home during the day.
Yeah. You know, my mother, I'm one of 6, right? And my mother, she was worried. She used to change hospitals because she had 6 kids. Everybody had stitches, broken arms, this, that. You know, she switched hospitals because they thought they were going to accuse her of child abuse.
Well, they do. After a while, they keep track.
Well, back to the conundrum of trying to figure out why the accusation men want to take longer while getting to business. And number 2, so my thought process is, why do people want to read? Where do they have that urge? There's got to be some actual physical thing that happens, chemistry in your body. Maybe it's because you're getting rid of so much shit that you feel the need to fill your head with more shit to do. Who knows? And then secondly, maybe a possibility is a guy's way just to get the hell away from everybody and stop talking to them, lock the door, be away.
I think it's fiber, more fiber. Maybe that's it.
No, maybe Truth's onto something. Maybe, you know, the guy's tired of having to deal with everybody else's problems, and that's the only place he can get any kind of peace.
Well, I give my husband plenty of peace. In fact, sometimes it's like, could you just go away for a while and leave me alone? Like,
Isn't
go
it,
do something.
isn't it called a throne? My dad used to
Yeah.
call it a throne.
See,
And
I'm betting her husband, based on what she just said, her husband takes a long time in the toilet.
well, no, my dad called
Hey,
it a throne.
wait a minute.
My dad did that thing you guys were talking about. He needed a place where he could read for a few minutes and decompress from having a business. And he called it a throne. He called it the golden throne. It was hilarious.
Terry, I'm sure, has something to add.
Now, Susie, you just said that you tell your husband to just go away, and then 5 minutes ago, you're like, "Why does my husband take so long in the bathroom?" Hello, he's hiding.
Yeah, but it's like when I need the bathroom, then I'm like wondering what the hell's going on. And my husband just walked in, he's looking at me like, what are you doing? Talking about my bathroom routine.
But why, at that time, do you just specifically need to use the restroom or get something
Because
out
I'm
of it?
doing my hair. I'm getting color on my hair, and there's a time limit between getting it on my hair and then getting into the bathroom to get into the shower so I don't turn all kinds of weird colors. See what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
have you explained that to your husband? Because
No,
these
because
are
he got to
things.
the bathroom before I had a chance to say, hey, don't be like, lollygagging in there.
All right, now I've mentioned this before. There's probably not a more disgusting smell than what the perm solutions that you women used to put on your hair back in the day. Okay, that was the most. That was worse than like incense in church. It was the most terrible. I knew when my mother and sisters were getting perm.
Dude, with those big old domes that came down on their damn head, you walk into a salon, you're like, what the hell is that awful smell?
Wow. And let me tell you, in the 80s, the perm thing was a thing, right? And so, permed my hair. I had long hair. I permed it. What nobody told me was that the permanent is actually permanent, because then in the 90s, when I let it grow out, my hair was still curly, and it's been curly ever since, because I had stock straight hair, not a curl to it. Now, not so
All
much.
right,
Anyway.
so I got a quick story, right? So my brother lost a bet, and this was my second to oldest brother, and he had wavy hair, gorgeous, gorgeous hair, right? And he lost a bet where he had to shave his head, right? So he shaves his head. Well, guess what? Some bitch came back in curly. I mean, Shirley Temple curly. He still has curls today because, I'm telling you, it's hair like me. He came out like Shirley Temple.
Weird, isn't it?
Poor Shirley Temple. The crap that she went through.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
They got a haircut named after her. They got a drink at the bar. Come on, any kid went up to the bar, you had to have a Shirley Temple.
Well, I actually talked to her. I was doing a documentary film about the history of American Legion Post, and she was actually a honorary member. Long story short, I wanted to interview her, so I got to talk to her on the phone, and she just didn't want to do an interview. And it was unbeknownst to me because I just never really paid attention. But she had a whole bunch of crap happen to her in Hollywood. You can imagine now that we know all the crap they do to kids and whatnot. And I had a lot of compassion for her. She's very sweet, very nice, very polite, but just refused to do an interview just because she didn't want it to lead to anything regarding her past with Hollywood. It was pretty trippy, man.
I think I remember what it was, the Good Ship Lollipop, right? The Good Ship Lollipop that you pulled.
Yep. Talented young woman, tap dance very well, and could sing and the whole nine, but just we don't know what she went through, but it was a lot. I could tell in her voice, man.
It was a lot. She was my mom's absolute favorite, but it was a lot. I mean, they made a Shirley Temple everything. And then there was a Roy Rogers you could drink too.
Yeah, I forget what the Roy Rogers had in it, but why they gave it to Shirley Temple was 3 cherries they used to put on top of it. It was just cherry liqueur or whatever it was.
Roy Rogers was a Coke with the same thing as the Shirley Temple. And
Yep.
it was grenadine.
It was Coke versus 7 Up. Shirley Temple had the
Yeah.
7 Up, and
Yeah.
Roy
Same
Rogers
deal.
had the Coke.
Yeah. Yep. So, and it was fun. You ordered those things and you felt so special. It was a pink 7 Up. Nothing more.
Well,
It was
they
good
they
stuff.
they would give out. You know, we just wanted the goldfish behind the bar. You know, so as soon as the bartender knew my old man, but I'll never forget they built this bar up the street from my house, and my father and all the neighbors used to go up there every Friday night. And that was like where they were at. So all the kids would pile in the bar. We would all be sitting around the bar. We'd all drink Shirley Temples and orange slices. Dude, they remember.
Grenadine, pure sugar, basically, right?
Yeah, it's hummingbird food. You guys remember Orange Joyous? Oh, those are so good.
Oh yeah.
A what? An
Orange Julius. You don't have those, man?
Nope.
Basically like orange juice whipped, so kind of.
Yeah, it's like a light orange milkshake, but I don't know exactly what it is. I'm sure it's 100% sugar.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and sugar is the gateway to alcohol, so all they were doing is teaching us to drink.
Kind of right.
Well, and they had to have those little umbrellas in it too, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that,
no. With the place we went, they had these pirate swords, right? They would stick the cherries or the orange slice, and then we used to fight with the swords at the bar. Come on, right?
Oh, I remember those. They're really good for picking up olives.
Yeah, the little stir things. I remember my mom getting really mad because while I was in nursing school, I was of legal age. Well, maybe not quite, but anyway, she found my swizzle stick collection in my purse. Boy, she was snoopy. There was she had the sixth sense about her too. I remember I got caught for smoking. Now, understand, my dad was a 3-pack a dayer in the house back then, Rothman's, Canada, and I would I would smoke in the staircase outside our apartment, and I'd come in. I would while they were at work. I'd come in, I'd brush my teeth, I'd wash my hands and face and everything, and my mother would come home, and my dad's smoking, and my mother would come up to me and sniff and go, "You've been smoking? Like, how the heck? Like, the whole apartment is like, a cloud of smoke."
It's in your clothes. Well, they can smell it in your hair too. My parents
should have taken a shower.
Yeah,
too.
my parents' big thing was my mom didn't want us having soda pop. So my dad would, on a special occasion, he would let us share a Coke. And then he'd turn around and go, "Now, don't tell your mother." I'm like, "Okay, I won't." She would get so mad when she found out we had a pop.
You must be from like freaking Wisconsin or something where they call it pop.
No, they call it soda in California. I don't know what they call it in Missouri.
Well, they call it soda here, not pop.
Well, and then your parents could write you a note to go to the smoke shop. They call them convenience stores. It's a smoke shop to get cigarettes for them. And they'd hand like a 10-year-old a pack of cigarettes. Like, what the
We used to
heck?
get him out. You remember? You used to get him out of the machine.
Dude.
Oh yeah, there was that too. But
I had to do that all the time for people. My dad would, when they had those, like a place where, you were waiting to eat dinner so the kids could be in there, but it was kind of a bar too. Somebody at the table would hand me money and go, go get, and I'm like, what? I look over at my dad, he goes, yeah, go ahead and do it. But if I ever see you with one of those in your hand, we are going to talk.
Well, I was so skinny when I was little that in our apartment building, the laundry room had a cigarette machine, and I was able to stick my hand up the cigarette machine and all. The only one I could reach was Peter Jackson's. Again, Canada, different brands. And I could pull out a pack of Peter Jackson's, and I supplied the entire apartment building with cigarettes, the kids, right? Until one of the kids ratted me out. I was in a lot of trouble then. Oh,
I'm sure
jeez.
Apostle Carol is appreciating our talk of, alcohol.
Well, wait.
cigarettes.
Who was the guy who discovered chewing tobacco? Who was that guy, right? And why didn't he tell us not to swallow it, right?
Ugh.
Oh, gross.
Oh.
I was never so sick in my entire life.
And snuff? Like, what's up with that? You snort tobacco? I don't understand. Is it tobacco?
No.
What
No,
is
snuff
it?
was always cocaine. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
It was cocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Napoleon was a cocaine addict, right?
Yeah, and they had a little,
Oh.
didn't they have like jewelry that held it?
Yeah, come on. All the stuff from the 20s, dude. Like Freud issued cocaine like it was no tomorrow. Everybody, that's where Coca-Cola comes from. Cocaine cola. I mean, come on now.
Right.
Well, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
They took that
Those
out.
are the good
and
old
then
days.
What was the fun of that anymore? I never did that stuff. I dated one
Wow,
wrestler.
what a lie.
Oh my God. I
Okay.
dated a wrestler who was doing that stuff. No. No.
Look, we're all adults here, right? We're all adults. Okay, yeah, hey, great. Yep, I did cocaine in the past, did all kinds of stupid shit. But I can tell you right now that I never went out and had a good time. Like, man, I had a good time doing coke last night. Not one time.
No.
Well, it's funny, Marlon, when I was a medic, they actually have cocaine. It's in a liquid form. It's used sparingly, but it's used a lot of times for a nosebleed that just won't stop. I'm telling you, dude, when you give somebody the liquid cocaine to help the nosebleed, then right afterwards,
Yep.
they're, all right, well, thank you very much. It was really great to see you guys. I appreciate all the help, and thanks.
Yeah, we did that in the emergency room too. Yeah. Cocaine up the nose. Yeah. Fun times.
Oh God! So it's the big lie. That's a good description of it. And it's I have to tell you, I had my own experience with my own sons with cocaine and drugs, and man, I'm kissing the ground. I kissed the ground because they made it. You know what I mean? Like they experienced the drug thing when they were younger. They didn't get hooked on pills. The only two things really addictive out there is really alcohol and opiates. It's the only two things that you can't quit. You can't just stop drinking, and you can't just stop taking opiates, right? You're going to die. You're going to have a seizure. Xannies are the same way, right? But listen, I have my own experience with alcohol, opiates. I've had my own family members through every rehab in the world and lie to you and tell you everything you want to hear and turn around and stab you right in the back. I've had plenty of family members like that. Now, years later, when they're older than I am and they're still doing it, it's a problem. I don't think you ever lose it. I don't know if I was the one that just got skipped that gene where it just didn't. I had too many important things to do than to really go get drunk or play quarters on Friday night. 99% of the times I was either hunting or fishing the next day. So I would never. And I think it kept me out of trouble.
Well, Marlon, I mean, human nature, we all have addictions. We have an addictive nature, whether we're addicted to work or we're addicted to fishing. We're habitual creatures and we have addictive natures, period. So unfortunately, some people get wrapped up like that with alcohol. I mean, alcohol is so damn bad. It was illegal. People forget it was illegalized in this country for a while. You know, it's that damn bad. And
And then while it was illegal, then people started making it in bathtubs and killing themselves. And drinking
What?
Well,
bathtub gin.
Wait, what do
So
you mean? Bathtub meth? Is that what you're talking about? All the different tri-colors that I stuck up my nose? Is that what you're talking about?
no
no, we're talking
alcohol.
about alcohol, making booze in the bathtub gin. So I
Well,
woke up one
Bathtub
time.
gin.
Yeah, I woke up one time and this is when my parents had just like they had a business and we were in an apartment and times were tough, right? And so I wake up one morning to this god awful stench, and I come out and there's towels underneath the door of the apartment, right? Like stuffed under it. And I go into the kitchen and there's this whole elaborate situation going on with this still and all the tubing and whatnot. And that booze lasted a long time because then when we moved elsewhere again and times were better, there was a whole well, okay, so my mother always knew like how much booze was in something, right? So I'd make sure to fill it with water to the line, but I'm pretty sure I drank some of that stuff. It was pretty god awful. Like they made their own brandy and whatnot. Yeah.
You know what? I think we were exposed to too much. My older brothers and sisters, they used to have parties, and it was really the clowns who used to show up at the party. Oh, there's a little, hey, John, hey, come over here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know what? I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun as a kid. I don't regret a thing, and it's all experience for going forward. I mean, that's basically what it gave me.
well, I mean, people don't. I think they just never talk about the whole alcohol thing. Remember, the 18th Amendment is what made it, illegal, and then the 21st Amendment kind of repealed it. But it technically, alcohol is still illegal. It's just a controlled illegal substance.
And
Well,
now the
there's a lot of
government
things
just makes money off of you.
Yeah, well, that too. But look at these other countries. BC. Hey, freeing up those drugs, those opiates, fentanyl. And it's illegal to actually possess it and do it. I mean, look at the destruction of what that's going to do. Now, hey, there's a lot of smart people in this world that realize that's not the right choice. I'm not saying every BCan or every Canadian is going down this route, but it is, it's an awful sign for society. I mean, what? Remember back when I guess it was probably the turn of 2000 where they were making these camps, these drug safe places where you could go and do it. I mean, crazy what we were doing. And our governments fell right in line. They thought this was a good idea. Remember them handing out hypodermic needles? I mean, just to make sure that they're not spreading these hepatitis and all these other diseases that they're spreading using other people's needles. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it again goes to show that we're a reactive society versus being a proactive society, right?
Yeah, we're still doing all of that in California.
But
I went into the health department a couple months ago just to see what I could get. Information about a couple of things. They are handing out every single thing that you could ever want for free at the front desk. Everything. I can get Narcan at the front desk, no questions asked. So I can save a life.
again, reactive versus proactive.
Yes.
What's interesting about the history, if we're talking about our 250th anniversary, so again, between the 18th Amendment and the 21st Amendment is historically the only amendment to repeal a prior amendment in our Constitution. I mean, it's interesting history to learn about.
We are very reactive.
Now, look, dispensaries. Dispensaries on every corner in New Jersey now. They're everywhere. It's just as a liquor store. It's the same thing. I think, a lot of people are coming out with studies. They're doing these vape pens and really, THC is like a conditioning thing, right? These people are sucking down these pens of these high potencies THC and all the chemicals to go along with it, right? But they're having studies out there where these vape pens are really, hey, driving these people insane. It's to the point where, hey, it's not enough, and that's what you do is build up a tolerance against THC. I think it's a detriment. Look, it wasn't like buying weed back in my day. Everything was hush hush, and it's so weird to see it like out in normal society. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember those days of the little baggies and all the seeds and all that crap.
And again, look, some of the things I did, I'll never tell. I'll go to the grave with them. But anyway, I've had my own experience with it. I even to the point where I thought I had enough experience to run rehab drug houses, and what a mistake that was. I thought I would be able to help and make a difference, and it was just man, it was a world that I wasn't prepared for. Anybody that is in that treatment world, hats off to you. You have to have a heart of stone to be able to help those people, because like I said earlier, those people will tell you any lie you want to hear. They'll tell you anything that you want to hear to be able to get the opportunity to get high. That's just the way it is. And people that are addicted to opiates, it's just as bad. The problem is the fentanyl is the cheaper way to go. That's the fix. That's how they get them reeled in, right? Get hooked to a script, and pretty soon after a year of doing that script, it ain't enough. You turn to the fentanyl or H. You can't even, dude. I don't even think you can get actual heroin anymore. I don't know that you can actually get H anymore. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of experience. I do have, family members that went down that route. I know a lot of my friends who died over the years. Maybe that's a good place to start. Maybe some of the memories, where those kids that I grew up with got messed up, and I never knew why. I never could understand why. And now that we're older, man, could you imagine being the parent of that child? We all went to school with somebody who OD'd or hey, showed up dead. One of my best friends, builder, found him. Needle sticking out of his arm. He got a bad batch. Or it's, hey, he came off the wagon, right? This is really where it hurts. When they come off the wagon, they think that still the dose that they were doing to get them high, that's actually the dose that kills them. So it's not so much, hey, the prolonged use. It's more of, hey, when they take the taste and they go back, that's what actually kills them.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. One of my brothers recently passed away from it, and he was an addict for over 20 years. So I'd been expecting the call for a long time and just got it this year. But it's a tragedy for sure, but people, I mean, we tried as a family and all of his friends for years to get him sober and whatnot, and he's just like, no, I'm a junkie. I want to be a junkie. I'm gonna die a junkie, and just is what it is.
I'm really sorry, Bruce.
Yeah, I truly to lose a family member. I've had family members in the past. We thought we were going to get those phone calls, but it was the story every weekend. It was some kind of struggle, somebody screwed up. I mean, any story you wanted to hear. Anyway, maybe this is exactly where we should start and remembering these people for our 4th of July. When we're sitting back and we're kicking back, maybe this is what we should be.
Well, like you were saying too, as a parent, right? Wanting to help your child, because all parents, of course, love their children no matter what. And it got so bad that he got his girlfriend addicted. She wanted to just feel what he was feeling. Then he got my mother addicted, and she died from it too. These are the kind of things where somebody love somebody, they want to understand what's going on. Not that everybody does it like that, but he took with him, a couple people. You know what I mean? So addiction is a real thing. And like I said, we as human beings, we're addictive by nature. So we should be addicted to good things, right? We should be addicted to the fact that our country, our beloved country, the constitutional republic it is still here after 250 years. And we got to fight now to keep it because we're being bombarded with all kinds of communism. But we see a hand came up with Miss Shelley.
Hey, Shelly, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, thank you. They just put that drugs are so bad, but I lost my daughter at 31 due to alcohol. I lost my daughter and she was pregnant with twins, and I lost all three of them that day. Her liver tore, and she was only 31 years old. We need to put emphasis on things like alcohol because it's there. And she was drinking to begin with because she had anxiety, and it helped with the anxiety. And then over time, if she stopped drinking, the anxiety was so bad that she would have to drink. It's an ugly, ugly, ugly life to live. And I had to bury my daughter, my only daughter. It was the worst day of my life, and it's never been not the worst day of my life. It continues daily. But I tried my best now. Just the way that I work through it is try to help others, to try to help them get through it. And that helps me get through it better. But everybody just says all these drugs, alcohol, especially for females, our livers, because we carry babies, it carries a lot. Does a lot for us. And it's just horrible. And I just wanted to share that.
Well, they definitely say that alcohol is a gateway drug, and that's where the understanding of it comes in. If it doesn't work anymore or whatnot, then they lead to other things. For my brother that I just recently lost, his whole thing, his knees, he got injured in his knees. He got issued Vicodin freely from the damn doctor. Then he was popping the Vikes and it would help with his pain. And then he got to a point to where he was addicted to Vikes and he was popping 20 pills a day. And that wasn't enough. And so then some little punk turned him on to, hey, well, why don't you just smoke this? And he was like, what is this? He's like, just smoke it, dude. It'll make you feel better. And so he started smoking heroin and thought it was okay. Oh, I'll never shoot up. I'll never do that. But then smoking it only leads to, well, that's not helping enough. I can only smoke so much. And then, well, let's just try to shoot it up, but do it this way. You know what I mean? So these gateways that continue to go on, I'm all for helping people that are in pain, especially if they had an injury and stuff like that. But the responsibility that the medical community has to really try to use the right medication for people and explain the severity of how bad that can turn into an addiction, they got to be really careful with that.
They need to limit the limiting. People just want to keep taking it, and that's what happens. And with my daughter, she never took anything else. She didn't smoke cigarettes. She did nothing. That was all just alcohol. She would take nothing else. She didn't like to even take aspirin. But it was just that.
I'm just trying to think of, when people drink and be merry, the whole thing that we're all used to.
I think
is when can you remember a time to where people get drunk that something bad didn't happen, right? You think about it, you always got the one friend who gets too drunk and they puke or they pass out and then you're caretaking for them. I've just never associated drinking with anything fun. Sure, after work, having a beer or two, I can get that. A nice cold beer on a hot day, I get it. But the what's the premise on drinking? People go to bars, they see in the films and TV shows that we watch, They constantly see people taking a shot, paying respect to somebody who passed away. I mean, it's just in our culture to think that that's okay, to think to do it, right?
Yeah, it's like, not as much anymore. They say that it's gone, the sales have gone down a lot. The youth now are not into it. Um,
They're
so
they're into something else though.
I know,
Please don't think that they are
I
drug
know.
free.
Believe
They
me, I
are
know.
they're addicted to getting tattoos. And tattoos are poisoning their bodies. They just came out with a study that the ink is actually highly toxic and impossible to get out, even though it's, you can remove the artwork off the top. They're vaping. They're actually sucking on a hot piece of metal. Like, why don't you give a tailpipe a kiss, So each generation picks something that's actually worse, it seems like. So I am all of the only thing that is actually going to fix all this stuff is some good old fashioned Jesus. And that's the only thing that's gotten me through a lot of ugly,
I
a
have a
whole lot of
19-year-old right now, so I
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
believe me.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
I
do.
started all over again, and I'm raising my granddaughter who's 11. So yeah, believe me.
You in the thick of it, girl.
Oh, I've already
I'm gonna
done it.
pray for you. I'm gonna
My
pray.
daughter, my daughter would have been 40 in October. And
Oh,
then my other son is 30, gonna be 34. And then I have a 19-year-old and my granddaughter is 11. So I've had a child in my home since I was 18.
good for you, though. Good for you that you're doing that for them.
Ugh.
Celebrate her by doing those good things for them.
Well, I have
That's
to.
You have to, but you won't.
I'm
But
like,
you're
I have
also
to.
blessed. You're blessed to be able to.
Yeah,
You really
it's not.
are.
It's not supposed to be in my role, and not that I would
We
never
don't
not
know.
do it. I would never not do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I love her more. I mean, she's sunshine in
So,
our life.
Yeah.
Shelley,
Yes,
I want to say to you, and that I couldn't imagine losing a child. I'm sorry, it's incomprehensible to me to be able
it
to
is.
even. I'm sorry, okay, but
Thank
I'll
you.
have to tell you, not giving people excuses, but
Mhm.
I can understand where the bottle would become their friend, especially when they don't have the support group that
She
most of us
didn't.
had.
Yeah,
I could see where you could lean on something like that.
it was her
One of the
anxiety.
most,
It helped her anxiety. And then
yeah,
what did it do? It caused her anxiety not to have it. So it was a no. It's a no winning. It's just a no winning whatsoever to it, And the only thing I will say is that I lost her first, and I think God did that on purpose so that I can go through the worst of them all. Because since then, it'd be 8 years. But within 7 years, I lost my daughter, my mom, my dad, my little brother, and my little sister.
Well, like was said earlier, I believe it was thankful, and she's absolutely right. If we put God first in our life, then it doesn't matter what people think they believe or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The advice, the purity of Scripture, whether you believe or not, is amazing. And there's actually Scripture in the book of Matthew in chapter 6, and it starts in verse 25. It's got the cure for anxiety in verses 25 through 34. It's pretty plain and simple. So people with this whole anxiety thing, they're in their heads too much, and maybe they're asking themselves maybe the right or wrong questions and don't know how to answer them. And I think a lot
You're
of people are
absolutely
lost.
true. Because I dealt with anxiety, not like her, but I did. And after I lost my daughter, I had to get out of my head because that was going to kill me.
Right.
Your head, literally, the what ifs and this and memories that it will take you over and it will take you down. So I had to make a choice. And lucky for me, I was able to do it already. I meditated a lot. And whenever the thoughts would come, I would say, you're not coming. And I would push, I would let
Right.
those come in, but not everybody it, I don't know. It's like sometimes I just wonder why others just can't do it, you know, but we're all different personalities and I guess we're all here for a different reason. And I don't know. I don't understand it. I wish I did.
Well,
Um,
again, if you believe that everything happens for a reason,
mhm.
and God gives us only what we can handle, and if you feel inspired to help other mothers or families that might be in similar situations, maybe that's
I do it all the
what
time.
your calling may be. You know what I
I
mean?
do it all the time.
Right.
I'm on today's a slow day and I'm actually working. So if you hear me start talking and turn off, it's because my phone went off in my ear. But I'm an insurance. I work for an insurance company, and I've talked to a grown man who, by the end of our conversation, we were both crying together, and he said he didn't know me, but he loved me. Um, and I helped him in a very hard time, and so it through my loss, I can just tell people what I've been through so they understand that they know that I understand. So it opens them up, to let out those things that other people are not comfortable saying, and what you're not comfortable saying with just anybody. And it's easier to
Well,
speak to a stranger.
Shelley, I have to believe in every fiber of my bones that any soul that we ever knew is going to meet us there. You know,
Yes. And
and when
I
I
talk to her
think
all the
of those,
time.
when I think of those, I think of, hey, I think of all the people again, kind of where we started the space this morning. And, hey, where are we going to start on our July 4th? Well, one comes to my mind, my brother-in-law. And I loved the guy. I loved him from the very beginning. I loved who he was. I believed in what he was doing. But the really the decline from alcohol, from vodka, right?
Horrible.
It was even to the point where we were on vacation. When I knew there was a real problem is when he started the day, it filled a 16-ounce glass to the top, and it was down the hatch it goes so that he could go.
Yeah.
I believe that, when I think of those, I don't think of the bad things. I
No,
usually only think about the good things. I don't
me
think
too.
about the alcoholism that actually took him. And
Me either.
I can tell you when I see his face, when I get to see him again, it's not going to be that alcoholic that was
No,
robbed you of your daughter and my
no.
brother.
Well, and I think to myself, with her anxiety in the world that we live in today, this life would have been very difficult for her. There's too much going on. And she took everything in too much. And I think it would have just been a horrible way to live. So I think there was a reason, and she doesn't have to go through this. And in that way, I'm glad, There was a time I begged her to change places with me. I would beg her. And then one day I used to talk to her on my way to work in the car. And then one day I was talking to her that it's not supposed to be this way, just to change places with me. And it hit me like a brick. Like she just said, Mom, I know that you would love me to do that, but it's so nice here. I don't want to go back there. And it hit me like that. And I thought, what I'm asking her, who would want to come back to this? I mean, she's
Well,
much better than I am. I'm just being selfish.
well,
And I
was
stopped
this
from
was
that
one of
day.
the this was one of the smartest guys I knew. This guy's title, he was a nuclear engineer, silent propulsion systems expert. Right.
Jeez.
This guy built the Seawolf division of our Navy. Right. All of the subs that were in the Seawolf. He designed it. They ran the shafts on a reverse polarity. This is how they were able to silence these submarines, right? And it was really his design that actually did it, right? But it was the little things. It wasn't so much the big things. It was the little things. You could imagine a guy with that much brain power would be able to pull a boat and put it in the slip. Well, he couldn't do it. He couldn't understand kicking the boat around, getting the motor to go back and reverse, put a line around the pole. I mean, he couldn't grasp this.
Yeah.
Bricklaying, he could not he couldn't do that. He
Yeah.
just, his brain didn't work that way. And alcohol only influences decisions later in life.
Yeah, well, that goes to show you we're all here for a certain reason. We're all given certain thing, and hopefully we can do our task. That's what I say. I don't know if we come back. I don't know, and I don't think any of us know until we get home. But the one thing I will say is I'm trying to do the best I can with this life, because if it's true, if there is a chance of coming back, I ain't doing this crap again. I'm going to do the best I absolutely could. So God says, you did a great job. You don't have to do that again, because I can't do this again.
Well, again, if you want to get biblical about it, just remember, like in First Peter, it says, so that the proof of your faith, being more precious than gold, which perishes, though tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. I mean, you got to stick to your faith. So
Yeah.
we all have anxiety. The world is evil. It's always been evil.
Yep.
It's a constant battle of good and evil. But when we remember the sufferings that Christ himself went through, nothing compares to that. All the stuff that we're going through, hey, it is what it is. If we have that hope of salvation, that hope of knowing that eternal life is far better than this, and we are living eternally now, we're just stuck in these bodies, it gives you a sense of peace to not worry about it. That's where, like I was saying in Matthew, about don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Each day is enough trouble of its own.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had to do it. I've
But
had to.
yeah,
It
but
would have
wait.
killed me.
Even though we've had those struggles, you when you go outside your door and I can smell the thyme in my garden. I mean, like those are the things that we need to appreciate more on a daily basis. It's not, hey, this is a gift to be here. And I think that's the way that we should treat it. It's fragile. Life is fragile, right?
Girl, nature is what helps me to ground me back to earth. Nature is where I find beauty, it's where I find peace. The trees and just seeing the beauty that is all around me. That's where I find my peace. And when I need that peace, that's what I do. I go out into nature, and that's helps me to ground myself back down.
I use it. I use it constantly. And you know what? It's been woven into my DNA I have to do that. like Shelly, if I'm not going to do that extra step and go catch marlins and tunas and, there was nothing like, catching those fish over the weekend. That is a sign of my environment. I've learned from my environment to be able to do that. I don't know. It's really cool. And you can get really deep with this conversation, but we need to enjoy every day. We need to enjoy the moment. I'm tired of living in the future. Let's live for
That's what I tell people. I don't even worry about money anymore. I don't.
until
Tomorrow.
we don't have it anymore.
Exactly.
Then you got a problem.
Well, and the thing is, tomorrow may not even come. And I'm going to waste my time on worrying how I'm going to do something tomorrow. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. God has always provided. You look back at things and you say, how did I get through that? Yeah, it's always provided to you.
You know what I remember, Shelly, at that point? When I look behind me and it's the old footprints, right? The footsteps. It was the poster that I grew up with on the back of my door. And when you know what, I've asked many, many times, how did I make it? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've had 2 brushes with death. I was rescued at the end. I carried myself a little bit differently after that. So, to give people grace, that's what we're supposed to do. Let's just learn from our mistakes today and enjoy today. That's what I'm up for. I can't wait to get started.
There's one thing that this has given me. It's given me the gift of just treating others the way I want to be treated. And even at work, I answer the phone. I don't care how sick I am. I don't care nothing. I answer the phone with a smile on my face. You can hear the difference in people's tone. Just like it's like someone go, oh, hi, how are you? And it makes a big difference. And sometimes I'm the only person some people talk. So
What if you change the direction of that person's thought for today? Man, that guy
exactly,
smiled at me. Well, maybe I'll
exactly.
shake it a little bit more. Like,
That's
I don't
exactly.
know.
And that's what I try to do. And that's what gives me reason. That's my reason. And
Uh,
it's made me stronger. It made me stronger in that. I've always been the one that's carried everything. I've always been the one who was the good girl. I was always smart one. I always did everything right. And that was a hard thing to carry. I realized that later in life. But I don't have to carry all the stuff. I just don't. And not only that, I can't carry it all anymore because I'd be underground already. I would not be here. And I was on the verge. I felt that I was going to die of the broken heart. And I made a choice. And I remember the day I made the choice. And I either was going to lay down and die or I was going to stand up and fight. And I made the choice. And since then, I've just been fighting. Just every day is a blessing. Every day is one day closer to seeing my family again. And until then, I'm going to do the best I can. Be the
Well,
best person I can be.
I agree with you, and I think it is a relevant and important conversation that all people have at some point in their life, and unfortunately, sometimes it takes tragedies for making people to look at life in general and ask the big questions and try to find the answers of what is life about? Why am I here?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
But again, I would highly recommend to anybody, whether you believe or not, grab a Bible or go online. There's tons of Bible
That's what I
apps.
did. That's what I did.
And well, just hold on a second.
Go
And
ahead.
in Romans chapter 8, there's quite a few great verses. One of them, like you're going through now, it says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that is to be revealed to us." And then it ends chapter 8 where it says, "But in all these things we overwhelmingly conquer through him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing will be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord." These are the kind of things that we should fill our minds and hearts with. Again, it really isn't. To me, if somebody doesn't believe, just read the dang Bible. It's got so many beautiful verses and wisdom for us to live by, whether we believe or not. Start there, and then hopefully you'll discover the truth.
Even if they don't go that route, even if they don't look for the biblical answers, it's the way that you treat people every day. Even just holding the door for somebody or smiling at them, give them the chance, because guess what? You don't know what their day was all about. They could have lost their daughter yesterday. How do you know? So you know what? For the amount of interaction I have with people, it's up to them. It's not up to me. It's up to them. So it's their choice. But listen, again, hey, I do want to get us upbeat for the last few minutes of the space, because today it is a glorious day. I think what we needed to do was remember maybe the reasons that we're here, and enjoy your fourth. Live every day like it's your first, as Larissa would say. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I can't wait to be able to enjoy the time with my family, fresh corn, some tuna, and remember the things that are important to us, and enjoy that day, man. Enjoy it.
Right? It's a great celebration to have. We are the first and only nation in the history of the world that actually acknowledged and put God first and said and acknowledged that God is what gives us our freedom. And that's why this country has endured so much. And so the fact that our 250th anniversary is tomorrow, We're on the eve of it. We should go into it celebrating. We should go into it realizing how unique and amazing this country really is, and be willing to help fight for it, to keep this going, so that our kids and grandkids and great grandkids can enjoy the same freedoms that this country has given to us. You know, I think a lot of people take it for granted, unfortunately, and have become spoiled. And all this complaining that we see from the, whatever you want to call it, the far left, loonies, whatever the heck you want to label it. The irony is they're complaining about something because they have the right to do so from this country. And if they want to change it to what they think idealism of communist or Marxist ideals or socialist crap, they won't be able to complain about it if it changes to that. That's like the catch-22. Like, dude, you have freedom to say all the crap you're saying, but you won't if we turn it into what you're asking for, right?
Well, maybe we shouldn't be so judgmental of people. Let it go. Maybe that'll be a theme. Just let it go. It's kind of like road rage. Same shit, right? I couldn't care what that person does in front of me. I'm not going to give them the finger. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to beat the horn. I just smile and wave, dude. Just like yesterday, I had a passenger driving with me. And this woman was totally out of bounds. She was in between the two lines. I mean, you know, he's like, "I'll beat the," I'm like, no. I said, do you want to involve this person? In the next 15 seconds, that person is going to be out of your life. Do you want to involve them in the rest of your life? I'd rather not. So, you know, that's my name on the back of that truck, right? So let's think about that when we're reacting. You know, smile and wave, man. It's the best. It's the best solution. They hate it too. Like you said, you never know how people's days are going. So, hey, whatever. If they're more important, they want to get in front of me, it's fine.
Yep.
Anywho.
Terry, you've been awful quiet, man. You usually got some funny things to say. In fact, you know what? I don't know if Terry, if President Clinton has been visiting him lately. Has he been around lately? Is he there to give us some advice for our 250th anniversary?
Yo, he didn't show up in a blue dress, did he?
Well, I can tell you, Marlon, in truth, I can appreciate what you're saying, that you don't understand what people are going through. I don't think people understand the hell that I go through every single day with Hillary. It's bad. It's really bad. She said I ate her ho-hos the other day. You know, they discontinued ho-hos and they're getting really rare. And I said, I did not eat your ho-hos. And she was all over me like Monica was, but not in that way. You know, I can feel everybody's pain. You know, we got in a really bad fight. We were fighting over why that Little Rock Airport says the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport. There's no Ronald and Nancy Reagan Airport. There's no George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush Airport. She's been grifting off me since Yale Law School, and I've had just about enough. She said it's my fault she didn't get elected. I said, well, you got elected senator, so don't blame me for that. She tried to say because I couldn't keep my pocket pony in my pants, she didn't get elected. And I'm tired of it. And you know I can't divorce her, Marlon. Every time I
don't
call
know how you do it with a straight face, Derek.
How does he do that with a straight face? Oh my God.
So, at any rate, all I know is what's wrong with America can be fixed with right. Skinny just took a mic. I got to stop. He's going to tear me up.
Yeah, it's Skinny, what it is.
No, I just want to remind people before they come after our favorite Slick Willie here that just put yourself in his shoes, if you would. Imagine what it would be like at how old is he now? How old are you now, Bill?
I'll be 80 next month on August the 19th.
Yeah. Imagine going from playing saxophone to learn how to play skin flute at 80, guys. Have a heart.
You know,
60 years with Hillary.
It's all that hard living with her, you know, I got to tell you, it looks like somebody put a hose in me and sucked all the life out. It's just bad. I mean, every day I got to wake up to Hillary complaining that she's not the president. Think about that.
Oh man, it's always a pleasure to have our ex-president in here.
Well, I got to go. She's after me because I ate her ho-ho. And that's it. Just remember, what's wrong with America can be fixed with what's right with America. Happy 250th birthday to everybody.
Ah, that's funny.
You'd have some Coyote love there, wouldn't you? Especially when she was dancing around with the human mask on her face and the blood all over her. Yeah, we all remember it, Hillary. Could you imagine waking up? I bet I'd have Coyote love there, man. I have to gnaw my arm off before I wake that up.
Dude, he's got to have a safe room around his bed. I mean, come on now. How could you sleep in that house?
What happens if he calls the cops on her?
You guys are killing me. Oh my God. Oh.
Skinny, what it is, man. Happy 4th, buddy.
Happy pre-birthday, Merca. I put the breaking etching. Can you imagine, you guys? Can you imagine? It just blows my mind. The statue story is pretty cool, Marlon. Marlon already liked that one. They turned the king's statue into bullets. And hey, Marlon, if you haven't actually listened to the whole thing, you New Jersey types be very proud knowing that many of the bullets a couple of years later were dispensed towards the King's Army in your beautiful state of New Jersey. So it's amazing that account really posting on the daily about the goings on of that day in 1776. If you guys aren't following that account, you should follow it, but go back a few days and look at what our founding fathers, what all they went through leading up to tomorrow. It's just unbelievable twist of fate, and all the cards falling into the right slots at the right time to make what we're doing right here this morning possible. It's amazing. It's a godsend is what it is.
You know, I think of those same things, Skinny. I think of the veterans that aren't getting benefits that my uncle was a part of. 296 sorties, 52 missions over Germany. You know, these are the guys that really got ripped off because they can't even get the benefits paid. Okay. You know, World War II vets, two Silver Stars, a Purple Heart, rear tail gunner of a B-17 bomber. The balls of that guy to get in that seat. Could you imagine that? I hear every time they disgrace that, they disgrace any war, the Vietnam War, when my cousins came back and they got spit on when they in the airport. Yeah, that was my cousins, right?
You know how small those compartments were, man? I've been on one of those old World War II B-17s and whatnot. I'm 6'6". There's no way I could be in there. They had small guys, and I mean, dude, the courage just sit in that thing because you're the target. You're the one that's got the weapon that's shooting them down. So what are they going to target first? That little glass ball that's underneath the and on top.
His name was Bill Gardner, William Gardner, and he was a rear tail gunner in a B-17 bomber. The horror that the guy must have experienced, right? You know, and my aunt told us years later after he had passed away, and he was the most mild-mannered guy you ever want to meet. Give him a couple Manhattans, he was the funniest guy on the planet. But, you know, here, he suffered from night terrors. And we had no idea as kids. We just knew him as Uncle Bill. And here, you know, he used to wake up in the middle of the night, nightmares, and, you know, yeah, that was my uncle's, right? That's the threat of Old Glory. You know, I hear people disgracing even the war that these people are in against Iran and the Iran conflict. I don't want to hear it, man. Those guys are doing a glorious job. no matter whether they believe in it or not. And it's a shame, really, how, what I experienced as a kid and what I experience now. I wish my cousins would have had the same respect. A lot of them died, Skinny.
Yeah, I know. And we have been for a while. I know when I entered the lodge in like 2003 in my town, there were a lot of actually we had some Korean war vets in there, a couple of World War II guys, and we had a few Vietnam vets. And we actually, before I made my third degree, we lost 2 guys. Both of them to Agent Orange. So these guys, I mentioned it to an account who posted about himself the other day, saying he never should have been Special Forces, and he didn't even enlist until he was, I can't remember if it was 28 or if he was already 30 when he initially enlisted. And he told about his life leading up to his enlistment, including moving on up the ranks and into Special Forces. And I just, as I read, I lost a cousin a few months ago that was a combat vet, Vietnam. And it's very characteristic of these men and women that they don't talk about. They don't talk about it. And unfortunately, with everyone that leaves for greener pastures, that these are stories that we've never heard, that are, in my opinion, very important stories to hear, because it not only preps the future generation for what they may be getting themselves into, but how harrowing some of these, many of these untold stories are, and the debt of gratitude that people like me who were unable to serve, but wanted to, right? I grew up a Boy Scout. I grew up all the things America, and my little make-believe world was shattered by reality late in my high school career when I found out I couldn't serve, because I was definitely not going to college. Definitely not. But these stories are exceptionally important, and I'll never forget it, Marlon, that, we didn't go see many movies growing up. That was like a thing that my dad's just like, if it was important, and you mention your uncle, there is a scene in Memphis Belle where they get strafed, and they're like, what's going on? What's going on? And then they go open that freaking hatch to that, remember? That tail gunner's still there, but the turret's gone, and he's flapping around in the wind, hanging by a seatbelt at 30,000 feet. I don't think many people can put themselves in that position and even begin to imagine what goes from terror to just knowing you're effed. Like literally just knowing in the moment that you're effed. And I've been there a couple times in my life, and it changes you permanently. Anyways.
So, Skinny, when I really thought about that, here, my uncle paid one of the ultimate prices, right? My cousins, they were in Korea. My cousins were in Vietnam. My friends were in Desert Storm. And every time they ripped down a statue or they defaced the Lincoln Memorial, those were the guys that I was thinking of. That's part of my family that made those sacrifices. And here they are fighting for our republic, signing their life on the line, but yet you're allowed to have Americans run around and tear statues down, change names of schools because of an ideology that was in, the early 1900s. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't take the same ideology and put us to where, Christopher Columbus was the worst guy in the world. Oh, George Washington, he had slaves. If you didn't have slaves back then, You weren't anybody. It's just the sign of the times. You can't take a 21st century philosophy and try and apply it back then. It just doesn't work that way. And each time they tore them down or burned a flag, that's the people that I remember, Skinny.
Yeah, and I think allowed is different than nobody's allowed to do that, right? I think many.
Well, you
most
are.
of us-
Wait.
most-
You are. You're allowed to burn a flag on your own property, but the second you step off your property, you're inciting violence.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking more to what they allowed. It's not per se allowed. The disruptors and honestly the traitors and seditionists in this country allowed these activities to go on unprosecuted, and that isn't happening anymore. That's one of the greatest things that's happening right now. These people put this algae they put in the reflecting pool, by the way, if people don't know. It's made its way into Nevada, and it'll kill a dog. If people don't know, this green algae stuff, it will literally kill animals. So these people that think they're pulling off some little sly stunt are actually causing far greater harm than some cheap, nutless freaking political protest, whatever they think they're doing. And their time is done. It's amazing. We are living in the rejuvenation of old school. What's right is right, no matter what, mentality in this country, and I'm fully present. I voted for this, all of it, by the way.
All of it.
Me too. Times a million.
Marlon, a couple things. I definitely think that I'm keeping Charlie Kirk in mind. The work that he did to revitalize our youth, to get them back on the straight and narrow, to understand the formations of this country, and of course to put God first. But the fact that this is Independence Day, I mean, let's just look at the sheer definition of independence. It means the state of having sufficient means for a comfortable livelihood, freedom from control or influence of another or others, right? These are the kind of things that we got to keep in our minds and our hearts, that we have independence not only as a nation but as a people. And those that have come before us, that served like I served, for those ideals, for that reality that we share as Americans, that's a reality that can be changed in one generation. So we have to continue to fight for it and understand what independence truly means, right? So just want to throw that.
It's definitely not Juneteenth, because my local bank, the bank that I bank with, Fulton Bank, has it as Juneteenth, Independence Day. Are they confused? Am I confused? Did they change the day for our independence? I don't think they did. Susan, you want to add in, and then
It was ratified. Sorry, it was ratified. The Declaration of Independence was ratified on July 4th. Whenever they started to write it, it's neither here nor there. The day it was ratified was July 4th, 1776.
But Juneteenth is not our Independence Day. Is that correct?
Juneteenth is the 2 years after the Civil War ended, when the actual slaves found out about it in Texas, and they were emancipated. It took 2 years for that information to get to them and for it to take effect in the state of Texas. That's what Juneteenth is.
You know, I never actually had it put that way. Thankful. Appreciate that. And Susan, if you can hold on for a minute, maybe we can go to American Up. What do you got to share?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Got you good.
Listen, I appreciate the 250th. Being a Marine, I appreciate everything that, our boys have done in every conflict. I appreciate them. I don't appreciate the cogs, okay? And I call them cogs. I call them political cogs, because they are the whipping crew. And I'm realizing all this stuff through investigation and research that our political guys are cogs. They're the whipping crew of a system within a system. So as you look at the system at the top, within that system, it's above the politicians, and it's just below the awareness of Americans. And what we're seeing happening in this country right now is this political cog being whipped by a higher entity. I respect all veterans, all people that served. I love this country and I love the flag. But what I don't love is what we're seeing happening. And you're talking about the facing of statues to the outpouring of the left equals obtuse, and it's being endorsed, and it's not coming from the American people. It's not the Democrats, it's not the Republicans. It's a division happening at a higher level, and they're making it happen. This is not a conspiracy theory, folks. This is what's going on. And you have to be cognizant to it, and your eyes have to be open. That's all I have to say. But happy 250th to every American on the face of the earth. Thank you.
No, I would say there's some examples, that some of the people are upset with some of the decisions. Like you said, it's definitely a political game, especially at your local level. It's much more of a political game than you ever give it credit for. So, for us, hey, we're able to come on the X, we're able to talk on platforms, people's different spaces, podcasts. But if we're not getting involved and understand what's going on, that's where our power lies. We're big proponents for going, really attacking and understanding some of the local measures here. Hey, developing our own local voting forms. And that's what I aim to do, especially with the VFWs. I've been invited to go to the VFWs. So can't wait to do it. So America Up, I did give you a follow. Hey, we do this space every weekday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So thanks for coming in and joining in. Susan, and then Skinny.
Well, this war is an ugly, ugly, ugly thing. And my family are all from Austria and served in First and Second World War. In fact, on my father's side, only one of the boys made it through. The rest died either or went missing in World War I or II. And my other grandfather served in World War II. And of course, didn't have a choice, right? But one of the things that strikes me, and something that I think Truth said, is we freed Austria, Germany, France, Denmark, Belgium, all the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden. We saved them from the Nazis. We had some help from the Russians. We need to acknowledge that. And now what are they doing to us after we saved them? You talked about you can lose it in a generation. Well, guess what? They lost their freedoms in a generation. Oh, and the UK, let's not forget, because they're all, it's like they have collective amnesia about what happened in the Second World War. And they're crapping on us considerably, despite the fact that we supported them in two different wars. Granted, we came in pretty close to the end. In the first one, it would have ended by itself without us, I'm sure. But now they're shitting on us. They've taken advantage of our good nature. They've tariffed our stuff all to crap. And now that we're doing the same, they're all crying and whining. Germany still has not met the 5%, never mind the UK. So, we do need to have some pride. My first husband served in Vietnam. My current husband served in Afghanistan. So I understand. And then my grandfather served unfortunately for the Nazis, and it spent 5 years in a Russian prisoner of war camp. But it makes Rogers Day a little awkward. But nonetheless, war is ugly. First World War in particular was really, really ugly, really ugly. And we need to remember how ugly war is and not to be dragged into something again, because there are people on the left that would love to see us like go at it again. I don't understand it. It's like they don't really understand their history. They don't understand what happened and how people served. And you know, our little town, I live in a little town with 11,000 people. Oh, we went all in. And this is a red county, mind you. We went all in for the pride flags. There is not one American flag on the 250th birthday. Not one. So they'll be getting a little visit next week or whenever their next city council thing is. Because we're going to get rid of these people who hate our country so much they can't put up one flipping flag. We got all these artsy fartsy stupid flags that are meaningless, absolutely meaningless. Not one American flag. They should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm going to work real hard to get them all out of office because that's nonsense. Nonsense anyway. There's my rant for this morning.
Assuming that Marlon stepped away for a second, Skinny, and then we'll go back to you, American Up. Go ahead, Skinny.
Yep. One thing for American Up, they nabbed a dude overseas, a mini Soros, if you will, who defrauded American taxpayer money, took it offshore, and then re-injected that money into all of these illicit, fake and protests and socialist movements in America. So these guys are getting busted left and right. Please follow your gray checks and watch what they're posting, because this stuff is happening at an unprecedented level as far as I'm concerned. I'm only 48, but I've never seen so much stuff happen in such a short amount of time. This calendar year alone is just absolutely fantastic. And another fun one for you. I was informed by a friend last night. The eagle that the White House posted the other day on the front of the White House. I did not know, and I used to see these. I've been going in homes for 27 years of my life, other people's homes, as part of my work duties. And I used to see it in the boomers' houses all the time. That eagle is called a freedom flyer. When you guys get a few minutes today, look up what a freedom flyer is. And tell me that this, on the verge of 250, the fact that they put one of these up on the White House, it's quite amazing what a freedom flyer signifies. Other than it's an eagle, right? And we all associate that with being America, but a freedom flyer symbolizes something different, and very exciting, guys. Look it up.
Thanks, Skinny. Yep, amen. Marlon, we had American Up that still had his hand up. I don't know if you're back yet.
Yeah, brother. Go ahead, America.
So Truth and Marlon, or Truth, whoever's putting on this space, I really appreciate it. It's an opportunity to speak about what's happening. Going back to the local levels, and the comment made, I've always said this, that our start to overcoming this unnatural movement in our country is at the local level. If we don't do anything at the local level, it doesn't spawn from the national level down, it spawns from the local levels. And this is where these idiots are targeting. They're targeting our schools, they're targeting our infrastructure at the local level, and they're building it up. So it's operationally coming from the bottom up. And if we don't do something about it quickly, I've seen this massive change since 2020. And you can't tell me that COVID wasn't a false flag to ring in algorithms, behavioral economics, because that's exactly what's going on in our country. Price gouging. I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it. Corporations in this country are the swamp. If you look at the basis of everything that's happening, the corporations that are pushing the narrative, it's happening at the local level, state level, and the lobbying that goes on between the politicians and the corporations. The government and the corporation, same entity, guys. Same entity.
Yeah, but America, let me give you a little background, right? So, you know, and you're right. The only way that we're going to get anything done is attacking at your local level, right? To understand, hey, what contracts are out there, the 19 essential services. But this particular space, hey, we have made a dent in a congressional end, right? We have the ear of the SBA. We've been involved with notice of proposed rulemakings with the DOT about logistics. There's been some touching of some of that entity there, understanding, you know, hey, fixing the problems that we're all screaming for. And you know, I've watched Bruce Lundgren and Kelly Loeffler and the education that we've gotten throughout the Small Business Administration roundtables that I've been involved with. You know, some of the speech that they're putting out, it directly came out of the people in this community. So, you know, maybe I'm in a unique case to where, hey, I have made a little bit of a groove in the congressional end here. So whether or not are they listening, you know what, I could really give a shit less whether they are. If they are listening, America, they should be sharpening the pencils because this is truly what America needs.
Well, we need to look. There might be talk, there might be push and pull, but at the end of the day, I'm going to keep going back to the same argument that the politicians are the whipping crew, and they're causing animosity and division throughout the country. They're there. They say they're there, but they're not really there. Okay, they're being whipped and guided, and again and again and again. I'll keep going back to the same argument that what's happening in our country started happening around 2020 with the mass migration. That was not by accident, folks. That was a deliberate. They did it to the EU. The EU succumbed to this solidarity of one government, one passport. And what happened there? And look at them now. It's just garbage. It's happening from the top, and it's the WEF. I know you're probably gonna say that is a conspiracy theory. No, it's not.
Well, we're highly tuned here, America.
Hold on. Let me
yeah, but America, hold on. You got to understand what crew you're talking to here, right? This crew heard everything that you just talked about ad nauseum. So it's believe me, this crew is much brighter and understands what's going on, especially the evolution of this app.
Well, thank you, Marlon. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. I was just, when we talk about bettering this country, we want to be able to target. See, our young were targeted 5 decades ago, right? And there's been a massive turn, and it's because they are missing the critical thinking aspects in their brain. It's literally destroyed the critical thinking aspects of the neocortex. And in turn, what it's done is distorted their visual cortex. And it's a proven fact that over time, this stuff keeps happening and happening and happening. Eventually, you're going to lose that aspect of your brain. It's just psychology today. I mean, it's there. The evidence is there.
Like Marlon was saying there, American Up, once you start coming to these spaces, which happen Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern till around noonish, you'll see that you're preaching to the choir. Not to offend you or anything like that, but believe you me, like you said, ad nauseum.
Okay,
We
then I
have talked this.
apologize, Bruce.
No, there's nothing to apologize for.
I apologize to the entire group, and I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to insult anybody's intelligence.
No, it's not that at all. We're not coming off like that. I'm just telling you, man. What you're preaching to the choir. We hear you. We've been saying this shit for years. You know what I mean? So welcome to the club. Welcome to the family. You'll find yourself right at home here if you start coming in, and you'll see where the pulse is of this particular group of people. And people need to hear it, right? But this fight that you're talking about, especially with this communist Marxist ideals, we've been fighting this over 100 damn years, and it didn't happen overnight. It's been
it's not a communist movement, though, Truth, and this is the point that I'm trying to drive home. It is an absolute globalist movement. They're using the communist playbook to bring this in. This is not a communist movement. This is a globalist movement, and they're using the communist playbook to do it.
Yeah, again, communism, Marxism. That's been going on since the 1800s, and that's been going on in this country. It's the only way they can take this country over. Can't do it by force, up behind every blade of grass, but they certainly can do it by destroying the minds of the youth, which they've done successfully, very successfully.
So, question, Truth, what was Larry Fink doing in China with Trump?
No, wait, what? Before that discussion, who was at the table? BlackRock was at the table. There was a lot of players at the table. And in fact, America, a lot of people have in conception that, this is why Mary Tyler Greene stepped away. She realizes that he's ushering in this corporate. But if you were the person with the den, how else do you invite these vipers into the den? So, I think there's a little bit of play out here that really needs to be exposed. And I think each and every day, they're kind of putting these people out there so that people understand. Again, we're kind of at the end of the show, and I got to wrap it a couple of minutes early. But I'd love to hear Skinny, and then another comment. Maybe you can wrap yours, America, up. But I am glad to have you here because those are the questions that we should be asking. So go ahead, Skinny, and then we'll go back to you, America, up, and then we'll have some last thoughts out the door. And one more thing. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, we are a part of the CSN network, right? And there's a lot of conservative spaces that go along with this conservative space network. So look them up because there's not many spaces that aren't covering exactly what we covered in here today. Maybe we could take some of the conversations that we started here today and have them kind of go throughout the day and remembering what July 4th is all about. Okay, Skinny.
Yeah, sorry, really quick, Marlon, just to respond to that. I mean, Trump has been very vocal about his understanding of the art of war and have your friends close and your enemies closer. I mean, come on now. There's a bigger plan. Like they've had their plans. We all know COVID was a hoax and controlled the voting, the whole nine. But everything I believe really does happen for a reason. That God's timing is perfect. You cannot beat it. So whatever's to come, hey, we can't rely on one man. But the fact that Trump is our president right now on our 250th anniversary, what a blessing. Had he won, which he did win in 2020, then we wouldn't be here today, right now. So thank God that they pulled off what they pulled off so that we have this president. Could you imagine if we had Kamalama Ding Dong in here right now? This nation wouldn't exist.
We wouldn't be celebrating it. She would have denied the funds and it's
Better yet, Ted Cruz. Come on, man. Come on, man. What a joke, dude. The best middle finger you can give the entire system right now is to get your freaking kids out of these schools. I'm tired, guys. I'm absolutely exhausted. But like I told my wife the other night, I don't have the luxury of feelings right now. Just like American Up, right here. His feelings did not matter any day he was active in the Corps. It's got your feelings have nothing to do with anything. You just get up and you get after it. You get it done, and if you're lucky, you get a little break. There's a lot of people. The trend towards homeschooling and or figuring out some kind of private school is massive. Rona woke a lot of people up. An immense amount of people, even many you would consider on the left, which are old school centrist types. They don't want their kids having anything to do with it because they grew up like I did. Where it's like, oh, look, your skin's a different color. Oh, you go to a different church than me. So what? Let's play some freaking baseball already. So what, dude? This America is finding itself again. And the best thing I can do is to keep my two girls at home with my wife, who is 100% committed to making sure that our girls get what they need. They're surpassing their peers by a long shot. And there's really one thing to get some kids to pay attention. All you have to do is keep them away from the flashy things, the things that make noise when they push a button, and that thing that we all grew up on that didn't cause us so much harm back in the day. And by the way, my kids absolutely love one of the corniest movies ever made, the first Ninja Turtles movie. Don't ask me why. This is 8 and 5, guys. They love the freaking Ninja Turtles and Looney Tunes. Daddy, can we watch some Looney Tunes? Yeah, I have them on DVD. We don't mess around, and any of this exposure that we give them is highly supervised and highly limited. I asked my wife the other day, what these two do today? And she said they played all day. All day. They ran, they have a lot of stuffed animals. So they ran a vet clinic for a while. And then they were outside. They have a kitchen outside. They have it all. And they garden. Vegetable garden. On straw bales in a city backyard. This is what these kids do. They keep themselves busy all day. All you have to do is not give them the option for electronics. And it's amazing how observant they become instantly. Because, like my daughter found out the other night, she could jump up and grab the tree limb. Well, we all experienced what happens when one of your hands slips, and then the other one slips, and 2 fingers hang on, and then, uh-oh, bro. I can't hang on to that limb. It's a little too big for my mitt. You go ass over tea kettle. You find out real quick, right? This is how we're raising our kids. The same way I was raised. And they are patriots. They absolutely love this. And I've been reading them the accounts from that 1776 account. I've been reading to them these posts. And what I do is what my mother did. Try and put yourself in their shoes. Try and put yourself in their shoes for just 30 seconds. And then look around and understand how big a day this is. Tomorrow. My wife and I told them the odds are very great that we won't be around for the 300th, but you two will if you work to maintain the country you have. We told them that before bed last night. My eldest daughter, my oldest, will be 58 years old when this country turns 300. So God bless it. Raise them to keep it, right? Let's go.
You know, Skinny, you had that post about making the bullets, and remember the movie The Patriot, right? And when he killed his son, he took his toy soldiers and he developed the bullets just for that guy. right? You know, it was kind of like, you know, did that shit really happen? I would bet it did, man. And somebody went along and then I remember exactly what he says to him. One of my most favorite movies is my sons are dull or triple the men you are. It was great, you know, and especially to take the own bullet from the toys of that little boy. Wow, that's patriotism at its best, man. It makes me want to cry, dude. It really does.
Yeah, remember too, in the theater, there were two responses to the hatchet scene. There were kids like me going, "Yeah, dude, get him," and there were the ones that shriveled, that shrunk back, like, "Ew." Well, sorry, dude. I got raised. Yeah, that answer is correct. That's the. Oh man, if they ever actually kick the hornet's nest in this country, they're in for a rude awakening. You know, I hope it never gets there. That's all.
Amen.
Happy birthday, America.
Hey, real quick, Marlon, I forgot to say to American Up, first off, Semper Fi Marine. And secondly, a question for you. What's your favorite color crayon?
I like them all.
Supposed to ask them which one tastes the best.
I just bite into all of them, man. I don't care. All right. I don't mind at all.
What was your MLS?
Well, I never worked my MLS in the Marine Corps. I had, I don't know, probably 6 MOSs in the Marine Corps. And my last duty station was with, well, you know, I'm not going to divulge my age here, the truth. Okay, nice try. Anyway.
He was close. He was close, America.
But I will say this, I am very patriotic, okay? And a lot of the things that you see on my profile, I'm very raw, okay? I don't hold back. Things that piss me off, I let it out. That might offend some people, and I'm okay with that. Because why? Because I'm not here to amass followers. I'm not here to, you know, try to get people to follow me. I'm on a mission, and that mission is, you know, to put out points that are happening right around us. And I know that, okay, again, I don't want to insult this group. I don't want to say something that you guys have already gone over 100 times. So I'm just going to say this. Thanks for having me as a speaker. And thanks for listening to me. Okay. Thanks, Marlon, Truth, Skinny. Thank you.
No problem, dude. And just the only kind of rule, if there is a rule that we have in this space, is just no F-bombs. We do have younger teenage kids and even younger that do listen at times. So that's the only thing we ask. You can throw a shit here and there, but the F-bombs, that's all we ask.
Have I used one F-bomb since I've been in here? Okay. I just want to make sure. I do use a lot of F-bombs. I do use a lot of F-bombs on my posts, okay? And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize for it. It's just who I am. All
Well,
right,
listen,
guys.
hey, for America, if Elon himself, if Papa Trump walked in a room and he dropped an F-bomb, I'd be telling him to.
Hey, let's not get Spinkter Stink. Let's not get Spinkter Star, Spinkter Stink, Stink Star. Let's not talk about him, okay? I mean, literally, he's a transhumanist. I don't even want to get into it. The guy's an idiot. The guy is saying one thing and doing the opposite. Don't get me started on Elon Musk, okay? I mean, that's just a whole new can of worms right there.
Yeah. So, hey, we are kind of down at the end of it. I do appreciate people that came in. Hey, we talked about, hey, maybe the things that we needed to remember over this 4th of July weekend. And, you know, some of our family members, drug use and alcoholism. Maybe, hey, retweet the space out because, hey, that's what it was about. Then you know, hey, we were able to switch it and really glorify, hey, what's going on this 4th? You know, what we should be remembering as far as even veterans in my own family with World War II and Korea War and Vietnam and Desert Storm. All of them has affected me with my family and friends. So I think those are the people that we should highlight this weekend. And it is our 250th. How did we ever get here? Do you think the founders knew that we were going to make it this long? I don't know that. As long as we could keep it, I think that's what we remember, right? Liberty is given, freedom we have to fight for. Hey, let's a quick last thought out of anybody with speaker.
I just know Mad Dog came up for a quick hello. What's up, Mad Dog?
Hello, and Marlon already covered it. I was saying space, get it.
Bummer, Mad Dog. We're kind of losing it.
Yeah, he broke up for me. Well, hey, let me thank number one, America Up. Thanks for coming in. I did give you a follow. If I'm not up here, Truth's up here. There's a lot of supporting cast, Nika, Julie, Terry down there. Everybody kind of pitches in, and I appreciate everybody coming in and contributing. Go ahead, Mad Dog.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay, my Wi-Fi sucks here. I was just saying happy 250th, and I posted in the Purple Pill. It's a new Oliver Anthony take on country roads. It's really, really good. Enjoy, and have a wonderful 4th.
Thanks, Mad Dog. Hell yeah. And in fact, I put on that timeline. I don't know if you also saw that song that came out. I don't know if it was AI or whatnot, but that song regarding the whole World Cup and stuff it's a lot of fun, man. It's a cool song. So I'll see if I can't put it in here before you close down there, Marlon.
Well, I've been a fan of Oliver Anthony, and yeah, that's outstanding. Can't wait to listen to that. Skinny, I love the 1776 live there. Definitely, I'll have to follow that account. I love that notion. You know, what were our forefathers against or up against? They didn't even know the enemy that was coming, and that's the resiliency of America, right? And then what Old Glory is all about. It's just, you know, that's, I think, what we should remember this weekend. Hey, enjoy the corn, enjoy the fish, enjoy the barbecues. But remember, hey, there were people there that fought for your freedom. And I think a lot of them are explained in this space this morning. So, Truth, I thankful for coming up and being a co-host. I hope you enjoyed yourself. She probably can't talk.
Co-hosting is fun. It's not work at all, is it?
Thanks. You there? Thankful.
Nah, she's probably behind the scenes. She's working. She knows it. It's all good. Thankful. Thanks for coming up. Truth, as always, have a great 250. Remember the 4th. Have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you on Monday. I don't know. Be there or be square. God bless America.